So I don't know where it left off, but I want to pick back up. Um, Again, I decided that, um, look, enough is enough. I'm officially done with this devil, right? I'm officially done with this devil. I already feel like my higher self. It's a couple things. It's a few things to still work on, but I feel like I am my higher self. Right? I feel my power and my authority 100%. And it doesn't matter what the outside world reflects. The great God, universe, Allah said, you shall be hated in this world. The frequency of the great God, universe, Allah attracts hate in this world and fake love. True hate, but fake love. So it's like, it only matters what you feel from within. What do you feel about yourself? And again, through this devil, which is, it's my biggest devil. It's the biggest polarity. Well, let's just say it's the last. These are the last days, the end time. These are the last blocks to my higher self through this devil that I just experienced in an extended simulation with. And again, an experiment in time and space. Not merely for I self, but also to be able to have a testimony of the man. Like, words cannot describe how the great God revealed the great God to me during the simulation with one of my biggest devils within. You could only get out of a simulation like this because the gravitational pull being so strong. Your demon is being pulled, is being drawn to their demons, and it's like sucking you in a vortex. And it's a very addictive experience. It's very addictive because you wonder, why do I hate this person so much? Or why does this person hate me so much? But why do I feel so much love for them as well? And why do they display so much love for me as well? Well, it's not what we think. The great God revealed these things. It's not what we think. Because true love is not negative. True love is not negative. A true love experience is a positive experience. Some people are like, well, I had a positive experience with such and such for so long, and then it all went to shits. Well, I'm sure it had to do with a bit of suppression or not blindness, and maybe not knowing, maybe looking through rose-colored lenses. It could be anything. Some people just experience, they have positive relationships because they're experiencing life from a positive polarity. But what happens if everybody takes turns in a negative polarity? That's how we learn, through contrast. Well, what happens if you have to experience a negative polarity with this individual? That's why the great God showed me you cannot trust someone. You can't trust anyone until you have been faced with enormous challenges, enormous negative polarity experiences. because that is that person's polarity. You get to see the whole person, because anybody can be pleasant in a positive polarity while they're experiencing life in the positive. But what is that soul what's going to come up in that soul once negative stimuli is added to the equation? That's the great God just showed me, like, preparing me for a destiny of leadership. Yo, you ain't trusting none of these motherfuckers unless you see them in the trenches. Unless you see them in the trenches, and not even as they motherfucking boss, master, uh, not even on that shit. Cause then they gonna do what you say. If you got the power, if you got the authority, no. Meet them motherfuckers in the trenches and see how they treat you. That's exactly what happened in this situation. Meet that motherfucker in the trenches and see what manifests. This motherfucker failed horribly. This motherfucker failed horribly. I don't listen. Like I said, when I am physically, materially my higher self, guess what? Motherfucker, you have no motherfucking spot. Even though you can never be an equal, but you have no spot in the equal, in a similar equal spot near me. You were tested for that. And you failed the test. The only position that I have for you is to be a servant, employee, slave, a worker man, whatever you want to call it, motherfucker, because when I'm saying this individual, when you perceived me to be nothing, have nothing, your true colors showed. And that's how the great God loves this shit. Because that's really, and I love this shit too, because that's the only way that you can test a person's character. How are they going to treat you when they perceive you to be nothing? But I'm saying, if everybody out there knows their destiny, and people know when they have a huge desire that they can't fulfill, right? So people know this, and we're here to learn through contrast, right? Like Abraham and Esther Hicks, how they put it into layman's terms, right? We're here to learn through contrast. Man, if I incarnated here with a silver spoon, I'd probably be ready, knowing me and knowing I got 3 planets in Aries, and I'm addicted to I'm not going to say anymore. I'm not going to say I am. I'm not going to make an I am statement on that, because words are materializing a lot faster, right? So I want to be mindful of that. But having three prominent placements in Aries, that's a fire element, fire sign, in my natal chart, it's like I always want that action. And it's, I'm saying, just looking back on past records, like loving things like action and drama and fighting and wars and things like that. Being a soul that's a warlord, these are the things that we look to attract these things. So I love that as well. I love the thought concept that you can trick people into revealing their true colors. I don't need to do that anymore per se, because it's like, all right, I've arrived, I'm here. Um, what position of servitude would you like? That's when you get to that point, in your consciousness, right? Because everybody's building, this is according to the great God universe Allah, everybody's supposed to be building their own worlds, right? Supposed to be, this is where we went wrong during the age of Pisces. We were guilty of building other people's worlds and empires and dominions and kingdoms. And guess what? We were left depleted. We were left without anything. Like, what the fuck you mean? You want me to fucking work 80 fucking hours and I only get to see my plate? This is just an example, one of the many examples out there. And I only get to see my home 2 days out the fucking week. Because all the other times I gotta sleep to get back up, do that shit all over again. So I get to really enjoy the whole day in my home for 2 motherfucking days. And that first day, I'm motherfucking thinking about having to go back to work. And then that last day, I'm dreading having to go back to fulfill someone else's duties. Because if it's not making me financially rich or wealthy, then what the fuck am I doing? Because I'm saying, we don't come in here with nothing. We don't leave with anything. We just leave with the soul, the records, the soul memory, the records. That's it. That's why you can meet somebody. Man, you just seem so familiar. Like, where do we know each other from? That's just a soul memory person. That's it. We only leave with the soul memory, the record that has been recorded from our soul perspective. That's it. So it's like, what the fuck? I only get to enjoy, really, and you can't enjoy your abode from one day. Like, well, it's a trap, and we're learning that we did this during the age of Pisces. We built the kingdoms and worlds and empires of those that they used to be the 1%. They used to be the elite. Their father Satan gave them dominion to enjoy, totally usurp and enjoy the fruit of the earth, right? Oh, you got to work 80 hours to pay your mortgage off? You got to work how many years to retire? By the time you get old enough for your heart to stop? Oh, that sounds like insanity to me. Bitch, I'd rather just live fast, live slow, smell the roses, and die fast. That's why a lot of people do take those deals. I'm talking about your favorite idols. They do take those deals because they just want to experience life. It doesn't matter how long or short, but they want to experience it to the fullest, and they're willing to, just take a pay cut and be departed from their body at a moment, a instant moment, so that they can even get the opportunity, because you can't build up somebody's whole world and empire and give your all to somebody's whole empire, world, dominion, and kingdom until give them your best years and then say, oh, I'm going to retire at 65 or 80 or 70. So you gave these people your best years, your best life force energy, and then you wanted to say that I'm going to retire. By the time you may, who knows? You may got arthritis by that time. You may not be able to think straight. Your body may not be in a condition to even live past the retirement. Because that's called sin, doing something that It didn't produce the fruits of the Spirit in you. Meaning, did it bring you joy? Did it bring you peace? Because every thought, word, and deed that we partake in, it's manifesting the next thought, word, and deed. Every thought I think produces the next thought. That's why a lot of people do those affirmations where they just keep saying the same shit over and over and over and over and over again until whatever clicks in their consciousness. Or actually, I prefer to view it that being, if we're talking about the programming the mind, looking at things visually has way more, because this world is programmed off of signs and symbols, right? Signs, symbols, and viewing things. That's why your TV is a program. Anything you see is a program, because that has the biggest impact. When you're talking about programming the subconscious mind, that has the biggest impact. Seeing something. I don't know where I read that study from, because that was so long ago, but yeah, like scientifically, 80%, the impact that it has on one's mind, 80% is from whatever you're looking at, whatever your soul sees through your lenses, through your eyes. And then the other, 20% is between hearing. 10% is hearing. Hearing an affirmation is 10% impactful versus the 80% visual, seeing that affirmation all of the time. I used to do it. I don't do it. I do it in another manner. I do slideshows on my phone and make affirmation pictures and shit. But it's people, they put their affirmations everywhere they are. Because even though their conscious mind may not notice it, that's better, because their subconscious mind it goes straight to the subconscious mind. If you make that a regular habit of seeing that thing, then your conscious mind eventually starts to block it out. And that's where the subconscious mind picks it up. So that's why people repeat the same words or phrases or affirmations over and over and over again, or see them over and over and over and over and over again. I don't know if it takes 21 days, 15 days, 15 minutes, but 10% being auditory, like what you're hearing. And look, the great God, universal Allah, just we're coming into these timelines where the spiritual wickedness on earth is increasing. The great God, universal Allah already said, even the very elect shall be deceived. So if I don't recommend that. I'd rather just see it, because if it's 80%, 80% is going to be it's going to be an 80% impact on my subconscious mind. I'd rather just see it, because look, I don't know. I'm saying most people know from the entertainment industry the negative suggestions and affirmations when you are not aware that it's being placed in these audios. So the great God, universal Allah, doesn't recommend audio affirmations and things. I mean, like the subliminal things where you can hear the music but you can't hear the words, because you just never know, and that it could lead to one's downfall if they are getting the wrong information, because you won't, according to the algorithm, how your physical reality manifests. It manifests from one's subconscious mind. That's called their Their algorithm manifests in the subconscious mind. So if you're not fully aligned with higher self, that means you're totally aligned with your love, your truth. You can speak your truth. You can't speak your truth to enemies. And these times they'll kill you. We're seeing this. We're seeing this. You can't speak your truth, your personal, your individual truth to enemies. They'll use that to harm you. You only tell that to the great God, universal law, or a source that's not attached to you. But you can't tell your enemies the truth. That's foolish. The only truth that I am required to tell an individual is the truth of the great God, universal Allah. Hey, did you know that you're the one thought? You're the one thought of the great God, universal Allah, made manifest in the flesh. Universal law, whatever. I'm not required to tell a speck of dust that is operating out of the lower self, out of the finite mind. And who knows how many skeletons they have in their closet. I'm not required to tell them my personal truth. But once you get to your higher self, there is no blocks to freedom, and you can speak your personal truth to the all, because no outside entity has control over you. Until then, just keep speaking the truth according to the divine mind, your universal law, because, I mean, there's been so much suppression in the age of Pisces. Shut up, bitch. Smack. Do this. It's just been pimps and hoes. Most people have been somebody's hoe, or if they haven't been their hoe, they've been their pimp. The great God told me to absolutely be the pimp. Never be the hoe. Never be the hoe. Because that pimp is going to be using your life force energy to build a kingdom, to build an empire, to build a business, to build it. Why not be your own boss? Why not be your own boss? But that's what the great God told me. Be the pimp. People say, oh, it's using. Well, nothing is ours anyway. So, yes, absolutely. Use whoever and whatever you can to get closer to your higher self. I need to use you as a reflection. I've attracted you. You're triggering my emotions. If I'm flatlined, that's not my higher self. So you're triggering my devils, my demons, or you're triggering, or you're reflecting my higher self. Which one? Or you're getting me closer to my higher self. So we're even in a very basic state of consciousness. We're using other people's currency to attain our own goals. That's fair and that's righteous, to a degree, not to the degree that the old 1%, the old hoes, not according to how they did it. They sucked everybody completely dry. That's why Satan's coming to collect on everybody now. It's like, all right, because we the angels of Allah, we recorded your every thought, word, and deed. All you didn't know that you were participating in a scam and a lie. Your father, Satan, actually told you were a fucking star. Or stardust. That's Satan right there. Satan is a tricky motherfucker. Satan will literally pump these motherfuckers up. Yeah, you a star. You a star. You a star. You a star. You elite. You 1%. And now they're the pouring spirit. And now the stars, they disintegrate into stardust because Satan has to come collect. Satan, your father lied. Your father lied. You thought you was a star, and all these other individuals that they loaned you their stardust. right? And you actually listen to your father Satan, and you thought you were like this special thing on earth, and you thought, I'm saying to the detriment of everyone else, give me your star, give me your star power, give me your star potential, give me your star dust so I can add to my star dust and I can be the star. And that whole lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and the pride of life type thing. And motherfucker really believe this shit because their father Satan told them that they was a star. But Satan is going to leave the most critical, vital truth out, the truth according to the great God universal Allah, that everyone is stardust. We're just stardust materialized. That's somewhere out there and probably in a scientific journal. I don't know. But we're all stardust. We're all made of stardust, literally. Like, even the ones that are lending their stardust to the ones that call themselves the stars, even those ones are stardust as well. They just lent, instead of pouring all the pure positive life force energy into themselves, they lent it to someone else, and they add it to that individual star power. But so the angels of Allah, they record all that, how these individuals lived in a total scam system, a total lie. And then all right, so the scales have to be balanced, and then all right, so Satan gotta come collect. And these motherfuckers be blaming me for that shit. You the one that believed the fucking lie. You believed you were a star. No, all you did was harvest energy from the masses. You harvested a bunch of stardust, a mass of stardust. And we know energy cannot be created, just it transmuted. You transmuted their energy and you added it to yours. And you added to your star power from their star power, their stardust. And that was the lie that you allowed yourself to engage in. And I was like, oh, all right. Someone has to be the scapegoat. Well, it's not finna be me. Blame your father Satan for lying to you and telling you that you were a star. That you were to be worshipped, that you have fans. Because once Satan comes to collect, or the right stimuli is added to the equation, you become the most hated. You become ignored, overlooked. We see a lot of old quote hoes, whatever you want to call them, stars. They're rematerializing, right? Because now, see, they're even more in violation because they're using other people's life, pure positive life force energy to, again, sort of basically add to the lie that they accepted. Continue to give me your star power. This is what they say to the masses. Continue to give me your star dust, right? Your star power, based off of stardust star power that I stole the last age. How much more does Satan have to collect? So there are individuals that I don't know any that have used it for the glory of the great God universal Allah. I don't. Maybe I'm just not thinking, but I don't know any at this moment. I can't think of any, but again, it's about the lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. It's what most souls on this planet will be guilty when we're talking about making things idols, putting things before the great God universal Allah. whether it be people, places, things, material, emotional, spiritual, whatever, before the great God, universal Allah. So blame your father Satan. Blame your father Satan that left out that key, vital, critical um record of humanity. We're all stardust. Um, like they say, oh, if it had not been for my fans, if it would not have been for your fans, I'm literally, quite literally, giving you their stardust, you would still be a speck of dust. That's speck of stardust. That's just it. That is just it. But the innocents, like I said, the innocents um, are easy targets, Why? Because no one wants to blame Satan because they're terrified of Satan collecting on them. Terrified right now. Shaking tails tucked between their motherfucking legs. Lips zipped. They're terrified of their father Satan coming to collect the gifts. Same way, great God. So much is given, much is required. They're terrified of their father Satan collecting the goods and services that they have rendered to humanity, which most is death. Separation from Allah. It rendered allegiance, worship to Satan, aka the beast self, lower self, the carnal self, the lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, the pride of life, in lieu of pursuing individual love, true peace, freedom, and justice, which that's why the great God, universal Allah, put us here. You fed into that lie, right? Oh, I'm going to use you to influence the masses. I'm going to use you to influence the masses and lead them more into their lower self, the lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. And now I need someone to blame for that. I need someone to blame for me believing a lie. That's what these that are a part of the last age that had dominion on this earth, this is what they're currently doing to the very elect, the vessels of righteousness, the vessels of the great God, universal Allah. This is what they're doing. Because as our star increases, because going from glory to glory, being made a new creature in the divine mind, universal consciousness, we're continually releasing the negative polarity, but we receive all the energy, all the pure positive life force energy that was stolen knowingly or unknowingly. Once we empty out the negative that was replaced, we can call our energy back. We can call our energy back in entirety. And this is why we are at war. This is why this is an infinity wars. That's why we are at war with the old hosts. The old hosts from the age of Pisces. They pimped out, right? They pimped out, or they were pimped. Humanity. For the lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, the pride of life, for their father Satan. And that's just that. So I said to myself, I feel rich. It's not, listen, I can walk into a room and look like a scraggedy, raggedy, which I prefer, because, who wants false praise? Who wants lust, energy? I try to stay as cool as possible, as comfortable as possible out here. in a bathing suit top and some little shorts. And you know, the level of annoyance, because most of these creatures out here are lust based creatures. You can't even walk around comfortable out here. Look, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like whatever tribe that is indigenous to myself, I feel like we walk around naked anyway without motherfuckers Googling and goggling and shit like that. But can't do that shit out here with these motherfucking devils. So I prefer that shit anyway. Rags to riches, rags to riches. Because that's what the great God Universe Out Loud told me. If you want to jump to a polarity, oh, you talk great God, like, oh, you want to jump to your rich self on earth, your abundant self on earth. Well, we experience through polarity, through contrast. You have to experience your negative polarity. That's the only way you're going to be able to purge the negative polarity, so you can call the divine, your divine self, your higher self, your rich, abundant, whatever self, two. You can align those two, heaven and earth. So you got that right. What? All right, my bloodline and lineages were robbed, killed, still destroyed. I had to experience all that in different ways. In different ways. Great God gave me the opportunity to be assigned to live on the street. I didn't want to take that assignment. It's like, yeah, boss give you the worst ass job. Like, oh, go clean that bathroom and some shit. I'm like, I'm tight. I'm saying, even from the age of a teenager, first job being McDonald's or some shit like that. McDonald's, oh, go clean the bathroom. I'm walking out. I ain't cleaning no fucking bathroom, and I'm walking out. That's one thing I'm saying, as my young self, my lower self wouldn't do. So the great God give you these assignments that's going to bring up the negative polarity. I need you to get out there so you can bring up this poverty in your bloodline and lineage. Are you going to do it or not? Jonah, no, 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 no. And then when the great God put you in the belly of the beast, belly of the well, take all your shit. You ain't traveling in no home. Take that shit. It's obviously through Satan. Oh, take everything. You ain't gonna have no choice but to do that, because that was your contract between the great God for your flesh. So it has to be experienced. So all right, I'm feeling this. I'm feeling it like the rich self. I'm feeling like the authoritative self. I'm feeling like my divine self. I'm feeling abundant. Nothing is showing on the outside. Nothing is showing on the outside. Rags to riches. Rags to riches. That's how a polarity shift goes. Generally for destined beings. Right? So nothing is showing on the outside. The outside world still treating you like trash, still disrespecting you, still trying to rob you. The only motherfucking thing you got, these motherfuckers want to rob you for. That's your pure positive life force energy. So these motherfuckers, everything they got to do, it has to generate negative energy. So it'll be the law of exchange, right? I don't know. I don't study it, but I think it is like a law of exchange. All right, if I can generate negative energy in you, that's going to make my soul feel great. And in turn, I receive your positive energy. It's like, I don't know for sure, but I'm thinking it's like a law of exchange, right? So all these motherfuckers, they don't see shit that you look poor to them, but they can still feel your pure positive life force energy. Why isn't this individual defeated? Why is this individual able to maintain, survive, and thrive off of such little, in such good spirits, in such great positive energy and knowledge and wisdom and all of this? How do they do it? I'm miserable because I'm the law of cause and effect. I'm constantly generating negative because I'm doing things that is not aligned with my soul. What's the secret to this individual? So these motherfuckers, all they want to do is try to steal the only thing you literally have. This is a a scenario of the very elect to the chosen. Age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius. Satan chose the vessels for the last age, the last eon, the last era of time. Age of Pisces. Satan chose those vessels, those 1% of vessels to have the fruit of the earth, to experience the fruit of the earth. I'm talking about, this is the great God universal Allah that is choosing vessels for this age of Aquarius and for the purposes of universal law of one. All right, I'm gonna choose this vessel because their desire is for higher self, is for humanity, is for the divine will of the great God universal Allah. So I'm choosing this vessel. Once they raise their frequency, go from glory to glory, that's the Bible, but the Holy Quran, Circle 7, More Signs, Symbol of America, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Or once they get to take the next ladder step up, an ascension ladder. Boom! The earth has shifted through the universal law of one. So I'm choosing that vessel because that's the only work that this vessel wants to put in. This vessel doesn't want to work for two masters. This vessel, when it comes down to it, no matter how many times I have to put this vessel into the belly of the well, this vessel is going to get it right. This vessel is going to get to the top of Jacob's ladder. It's going to climb up Jacob's ladder and meet me there, heaven and earth. And guess what? So the earth, this Mother Earth, universal law of one, raises her frequency. We're going more into this, a new world, restore back to divine order, restore back to its divine intent, love, truth, peace, it's a love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Just for all, not just 1%. See, not just from 1%. That's not fair. That's not fair because that's a lie of Satan. That's a lie of Satan. This earth provides for all of her children, all of her inhabitants. No, that is the lie that Satan told. And we had 1% of individuals that they believed the lie, they perpetuated the lies, and now it's time to balance the scales according to the Book of Life, the records, every thought, word, and deed recorded by the great God universal Allah. That's the time we're in right now. So for these very elect to the chosen, now we're saying, all right, in every way, how was I lied to? Because we know that's a negative polarity and negative energy. In every way, how was I lied to? Because, all right, I'm going to see that. What's manifesting in my physical reality? In the negative polarity. Not in kumbaya, peace, light, and love. I'm talking about, where can I meet the devil at? That's where I'm going. Where can I meet the biggest devils at? That's where I'm continually going. And that's where we manifest the reflection reflects. It shows us our lower self to them. All right, this person got addictions. I got addictions. Let me find out. It don't matter. It mean we have the same addictions. If this person has addictions that I'm attracting, a twin flame or whatever you call them, they bring out the absolute fucking worst in me. This motherfucker brings all the spectrums of my lower self up, dealing with this motherfucker. But the gravitational pull and the love is overwhelming. I guess that's what they call twin flame. I'm not sure about that doctrine. Oh, so they only manifested to draw me closer to my higher self. The thought of the great God universal Allah that I am on earth, they only manifested to show me, to reveal to me, to reflect back to me the all blocks to that divinity in me. Oh, so once you gain that consciousness, man, once you learn the lesson and do the purging that they are assisting you with, it's like, all right, fuck them. Like, and not because look, you can't trust the devil. You cannot trust the devil unless you have these motherfuckers in death contracts. Like, all right, look, these are the terms in agreement of this relationship, this interaction. Once you get to a position of power and authority, you're able to call the shots. And you're putting these motherfuckers in death contracts. Now, this doesn't mean physical death. Because look, I am a representative of the full consciousness of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Meaning that's an aspect of myself. That's my higher self, right? So I hold that consciousness. I understand there is no death. There is no death. If we look in the English dictionary, it's one word with so many different meanings and synonyms and even antonyms and things like that. So from a more science perspective, death being separate, you're putting individuals going forward. When you're in the position of power and authority of your higher self, you're putting people in death contracts. Whereas the old hoes, the 1%, having rulership and dominion under the age of Pisces, they put lots and lots of people in physical death contracts. That's not as the very elect to the chosen age of Aquarius, that's not our goal and intent. That's not our position, because the great God Universal Allah said, this war it's not physical, it's not carnal, and you cannot see this war, you can't see this world. It's not physical, it's not carnal. We're not fighting no physical war like military and all these motherfuckers that's going to be physically fighting during these end times. We're not doing that. We're fighting the good fight, the fight to manifest our higher self on this earth, heaven and earth, win the crown of life. That's the war we're fighting. We're fighting this war to keep our soul. And sometimes you have to induce the death of an enemy, meaning you have to separate them from their, we'll say, higher self. Because look, the only way that they could be rich, wealthy, abundant, happy, peaceful is if they in this war that they're waging, right, against your higher self, the only way that they can win is through stealing your crown of life. We as the very elect to the chosen have to keep that in the forefront of our consciousness. All right, number one, if I haven't materialized physical material wealth in the form of resources, has nothing to do with fiat money. We know that that's being phased out right now. But if I haven't done that, this work ain't done. Everybody I meet is an enemy. Everybody I meet is my devil. Work ain't done yet. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep going. But guess what? If I meet that next devil, I'm gonna keep in the forefront of my consciousness. This is your devil. This is your devil. Don't love that hoe. Don't love that hoe. And it has nothing to do with gender. It's just someone that they want good. They want your life force, pure positive life force, energy, your attention. So, I mean, they're dependent on it to live how they either want to live or how they want to live how you live. They're dependent upon that. Like, they have to, again, in order for them to receive the desires of their heart is dependent upon them still in your crown of life. You have to, if you know that you have the opportunity to win a crown of life, meaning you can live your love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice right here on earth where most cannot. Most have to do something that they don't want to do to survive for naught. Oh, I went to school for 8, 10, 9 years, did residencies and internships and this. And you got motherfuckers like Elon talking about, and Bill Snakes talking about, now after it's all said and done, the world has ended. The old world ended. The old age ended. The old eon ended. The old era of time ended. That was age of Pisces. Oh, now it's no need for anyone to have a job. You're all being replaced. Even doctors and lawyers and da-da-da-da. AI lawyer, there's no need for you. There's no need for you to do a menial task. Do what your heart desires, but only if you can, because we coming for that soul, because you're going to take this market beast for an artificial simulation to be phased off of the earth. What? Nonetheless, you're going to take it. You're going to take that shit. Whether it's through it. You got your face card. You got the face card like cash style. You don't. Who's the other one I heard? Now I don't know exactly what she meant. I would love to find out. Ken the Dow. Ken the Dow. Ken the Man. I'm in class. I'm in a class with Ken the Man. Mainly the Great God Universal Allah gives me people in this world to learn from through absorbing their life force energy through their life force creations. This one being music, because she or he, I don't know, I don't know. Now you can never tell nowadays. People can't even tell with me, but I assume that this is an organic female vessel. Ken the Man, I assume this is a organic female vessel with an organic womb. I believe that she calls her gender is nothing. There is no gender, but I believe that she calls herself that because I believe she knows the science that everything's inverted here. If you're carrying the masculine, I don't know if there's exceptions to the rule, but if you are incarnated into a female vessel, you are dominantly or carrying the masculine energy, vice versa. The male vessel carrying the feminine energy, female energy, aka the bitch, the real bitch. That's why the male vessels, you hear in a lot of music, they refer to female vessels as bitches, but that's, according to the great God, Universal Allah, that's not true, because it's only energy. This physical flesh goes back to dust. My flip-flops are filthy. Filthier the better. I mean, why would you want somebody's fake love, and they're googling and goggling over you because they see you have on, like, they see you look or represent something that may not be true or not. But I don't understand the consciousness of this world. Why people like that? I want you to show you the true colors. It's too late now because, listen, I already have arrived. I'm saying in my consciousness, I've already arrived, and I know everyone is enemy. So what you can do, you can transmute that. You're my enemy. What, there's still mercy and grace for you. You can serve me, and we can maybe call it even. Maybe that's up to the great God, Universal Allah. Depending upon the service that one renders, right? But it's like, I assume, like I said, back to that. That's a lie that Satan, because Satan inverted everything. But we know that the male vessel containing the That's more science. That's more science. That's not in my just in my mind. That's more science. Um, I don't recommend more science temples because it's too much energy harvesting, and uh they're too high level devils. Uh, the so-called Masons learn from Moors, right? So they know the scientists. They can do some pretty harmful things to your soul, and that's why I don't. Maybe for training, but I don't recommend the Moor Science Temple of America, or maybe just to see what you reflect back. But it's a lot of black magic and sorcery going on because they're using it for lower self, right? Like lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and pride of life. That means they have no problem snatching uh, a soul of a very elect, because the great God, that's the great God's concern. The great God saying, even the very elect shall be deceived. So, look, if they know the sciences and one doesn't, you're going to get taken on a very, 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 um, a wild ride, compromising, playing Russian roulette with your soul, because they have the tools and the sciences to still kill and destroy a soul in the Moorish Science Temple of America. I passed that initiation. Every devil that I manifested in the Moorish Science Temple of America, I destroyed their ego. On this side, the very elect, um, to the chosen of the age of Aquarius. Again, the great God Universal Allah said, this war is not carnal. It's not flesh, right? I just zoned out because I just recognized what this devil did. Um, Devils, they never stop. Their agenda of stealing, killing, and destroying your soul, we have to keep this in the forefront of our consciousness. It never stops. They know nothing but deception. Anyone that is manifested to you to reflect your blocks to the great God, universal Allah, your higher self, your divine self, um, any individual like that, because your experience with them, you're going to feel all types of negative emotions, but you're also going to feel that intense love, right? It's simultaneously. You got to understand in the forefront of your consciousness, like that type of individual, all they know is deception. They are a Decepticon. They are a reflection of my lower self. They reflect. They show me my lower self. They show me my lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and pride of life that blocks me from my divinity. They show me that. So rightfully so, they know nothing but to be an enemy and to still kill and destroy. So again, back to the lie that Satan told. The female vessel is the bitch, but it's inverted. The male vessel is the bitch, according to the records of the great God, universal Allah, because they contain the female energy. Maybe it's exceptions to the rule, but they contain the feminine female energy. They have a physical vessel that is masculine. I assume that's why this individual calls himself Ken the Man, because she's in a female body, but she's a masculine energy. And we know once that body goes back to dust, there's only energy, which we're traveling through time and space as different polarities, I assume anyway. But again, one day we'll have a team of scientists to break down everything to the public. That's a goal and intent of mine, because I only know it through experience. I went through simulations. I learned from teachers here and there, and I assimilated information through wisdom, through experience, through my own experiences, which is wisdom. That's how I gathered this information, because it applied to my simulations. That's why I know what I do know through experience, through wisdom. I'm really on some fuck you too shit now that I have officially declared to the great God universal Allah, I am finished with that version of my lower self. I'm done. Uh, Lead me to the next place, space, because it's like when your when your demons try over and over and over and over again to steal your crown of life, psh, you have to get to a point. um I'm talking about even unto attempting to physically separate you from your body. That normally means you've arrived. Because the only thing that they can do is physically depart you. That means you are that. That's an act of desperation. So once that manifested, all right, I'm here. I arrived. This individual sees enough in me. Um, it's driving them to rage. It's driving them to in such intense jealousy that this motherfucker literally tried to kill me. Like what? Oh shit! It's time to go. I better pack up and go while I still have a chance to experience heaven and earth, heaven on earth. Excuse me, aka the crown of life. Time to pack up. Um, this individual's demons, devils, um, are displaying such an extreme level of jealousy and envy, and all while suppressing it, that it's too risky. You have to weigh the risk factors and whether you stay with the devil, your devil, or haul ass. Because you're in these end times, your crown of life is on the line. Your crown of life is on the line. And it doesn't matter how much someone suppresses, right? Energy doesn't lie. When an individual is um, acting one way but directing energy your way, whether through thought, word, or deed. This individual is suppressing their knowledge of who you are. I'm talking about who your higher self is. Oh, that's why you kept talking about uh I ain't even tell you at this point that I'm a multiple lottery winner. I ain't even tell you. And now all of a sudden you just keep talking about the lottery. You now you eating the same foods, doing the same things, using the same lingo. You trying to steal my whole consciousness and shit. Right up from under my nose. But you ain't gonna give me no credit. You gonna act like this was you originally. Bitch, when I met you, you was a pot belly, pork eating, stinking ass slave. Nigga, when I met you, at the end of this journey, true shit, true story. Like, yo, I'm this is reflection. I'm just recording it for a testimony, because yo, um, depending upon these the very elect demons that have not see, the great God gave me 20 years. Joseph, praise who? The great God gave me 10 years. 20 years to go through simulation, back to back to back, simulation after simulation, to bring up the trauma stored with my consciousness. The trauma, the negative polarity, the negative energy stored as my consciousness. The great God gave me 20 years. We're in a new age now. There is no moving more towards light speed, divine order on earth. You can't spend a lot of times with these devils, with your devils. You got to hurry up and execute it quick. All right, boom. This devil reflected the most intense jealousy I've ever felt in my life. Oh, they did it on purpose, but nonetheless, I still felt it. Because what if somebody that I didn't like or cared about did something? I'm not going to care. I'm not going to be jealous. All right, but with this devil, for whatever reason, I know that they're doing that shit on purpose. They're trying to trigger me on purpose because they're a devil. What? Wait a minute. What? All right, it's jealousy. And it's jealousy operating in my inner, out, through, without my consciousness. Because I'm feeling it. Even though this individual is doing this shit on purpose, they're doing these things, saying these things, doing these things on purpose, I'm still feeling jealousy. So that is within me. I don't know what law that is. But universal law that is. But all right. I got to work on jealousy. Jealousy is a block to the great God universal law. Jealousy is a block to higher self. It's abundance of all. It's abundance for all. No need to be jealous. But if you were taught scarcity and lack is only room for 1%, only one gets this or that, or then that's where jealousy would come in. Like, instead of being like, well, I'm finna work towards my shit because I'm getting my shit. Either way, I'm just gonna look at them as a light post, but I'm getting my shit. Keep it moving. That's great. They have that because I'm getting my shit. And it's going to feel better when I have it because it's mine. It's not. I'm not looking at somebody else's. But all right, so I got to work on this jealousy. This individual that I met, they're bringing up very, very intense jealousy. It don't have to just be. It could be anyone. They're bringing up very intense jealousy. It's triggering me. I know that this is not higher self. Instead of focusing on that devil, the demon within materialized in the external. It's like, all right, this jealousy just came up. Let me go do this. Let me do this fast with the intent to purge this jealousy demon and it's extremely low frequency. And I'm calling my energy back. They were attempting to steal my pure positive energy. I'm calling that's at a very basic level. Masters, they're like, oh, I'm sending, oh, you trying to make me jealous, bitch? Like how Yahweh was like, cast the demons out of the raging lunatic, whatever that, the dude that was raging was like, cast them into the pigs and sent the pigs, the swine, off of the cliff. That could have been metaphorical, right? It's a lot. That's one example. I could send, if I want, all right, send this negative energy. I can send that into a pig, a human pig, a human swine. I could send that into them it's going to send them off of a cliff. They ain't going to be able to transmute that. They don't have the ability to. It's going to send them off of a metaphorical cliff. It's going to drive them crazy. Because this is a big consciousness. And if it contains, I'm saying the very elect to the righteous, to the chosen ones, age of Aquarius, these are big. These are evolved souls. Oh, this is a big consciousness. You can't handle my jealousy. You can't handle the jealousy of my lower self. That shit'll make you motherfucking commit a crime. I'm saying in the physical. It'll make someone commit a crime in the physical. So, unless they have extreme discipline or they just going to suppress. And eventually that suppression got to come out. So, if I send some shit like that into a swine vessel, right? It's going to send that motherfucker off the cliff. That's the type of shit that the masters, we doing that shit now, but we didn't have 20 years of purging to be able to do that shit. But the very elect, if they're just starting their trauma release, transmuting their DNA, whether it's slavery DNA, poverty DNA, whatever the negative consciousness cells, memory, just any memory centers, could be from this life or parallel lives. Did they just start that journey? Because maybe they've been working, serving two masters. And they've been giving Satan more energy, more of their pure positive life force energy than the great God. Then the suppression over year after year after year of again adding to another star power, that can be quite a humongous demon. And these demons, great God said, spiritual wickedness on earth shall increase. These demons are out for blood. They're out to kill. That's it. Because they want your crown of life. Even if you're in the race as the very elect for the crown of life, they're still, look, every time they get to steal from you, they get to steal a bit of your fraction of your pure positive life force consciousness. Every devil materialized without is going to take a grab for your pure positive life force consciousness. That's why every emotional aspect to reality, your reality in the negative, it has to be looked at. It's evoking a negative emotion within me on a continual repeated basis. Then this is my devil. This is a devil within me manifest on the outside. So, you know what? I can only look at this thing as a reflection. Listen, this thing will bite. Any chance that I give this thing will bite. And we continue to look at it like this. Every time this devil triggers a negative, right? Every time this devil triggers a negative emotion, which that's my lower self, right? What do I need to do? What do I need to do within or without to reclaim, get rid of it? Whatever negative is manifesting, what do I need to do to get rid of that shit so I can call my pure positive life force energy back? Because I can't let this motherfucker keep my shit, man. As long as I stay in a negative, they got my shit. That's how it generally goes. Because I'm saying in our divine consciousness and our right consciousness, we came here to learn through the negative. It doesn't matter who's giving it, who's doling it out, what person, place, or thing is giving it out. We came here to learn through the negative. How can I make this how can I not make this, or how can I reclaim the positive that was before the person, place, thing, or event. So this definitely is not a physical or carnal war of any sort. It is absolutely a war for souls, soul essence, pure positive life force, soul essence, life force energy. Can I take yours into uh, our next existence? If we haven't settled our debt together, then we will meet up again in another life. So am I taking yours with me so I can materialize you again and brutalize you and, all these things again and again and again? That's the goal of the devils. That's why the great God is saying, like, you don't owe anyone your personal truth, your individual personal wisdom, experience, or truth. Why? Because demons, devils, they don't understand the truth and they can't receive the truth. And it's futile trying to do that, because you're just going to evoke the wrath and the demon in them. And most of them are comfortable with, I'm happy with another contract with you in another life. That's my only goal, is still kill and destroy from you so I meet you again, because that's the only way that I can meet infinity. that I'm saying that's what the goal and intent of this devil was. But you know you ain't stealing my crown of life. Oh, but you just want to take my opportunity. You want to take my opportunity so that you see, so you get a chance to experience infinity again. And no matter how much of a dysfunctional way that you have to experience it, that's pure positive life force energy to a demon like yourself. That was my dynamic. This individual, no, they don't have no choice to stay on my crown of life. But again, if they can still kill and destroy your pure positive life force energy, they can get you to miss out. They may not be able to, they may not have the power or the force behind them to physically take it and put it on with them on their mantle. But misery loves company. Crabs in a barrel. Oh, if I can't have it, I don't want you. I don't want you to have it. And continual jabs and digs at your pure positive life force energy. Just for the crumbs. It's sick, because they're only doing it for the crumbs. It's like, wow. And this is what the very elect is up against, this ascension journey. Whew. Now, again, it was particularly dangerous is because if one has not been doing this trauma release shadow work, what have you been doing? What have you been doing that's a lie that have been suppressed, that has to come out eventually? That's why the great God says some will have to win the crown of life through death, meaning the physical separation from the body. Like, fuck you, I don't give a fuck about no plastic foods, no GMO plastic foods, being turned into a robot, whatever the fuck is gonna be going on in that society, being controlled by a data center or some shit with the implant chip in my fucking hand, Stepford Wives ass type simulation. Fuck that. I ain't taking the market to beast. I ain't taking no chip. Microchip in my hand or my face. You gonna have to kill me. That the very Lex gonna have to leave out like that. And shit, you still got the opportunity to win a crown of life. It's just, again, it's not going to be in this world because one didn't do the extensive purging work to clear a lifetime of trauma. And the great God is the flip side too. The great God is going to give those the opportunity that when they realize their whole existence has been dedicated, dedicated to Satan, the beast system, capitalism, commercialism, consumerism, which is murder in many ways, as above, so below. It was founded off of slavery. If it kills your pure positive life force energy on a dominant basis, law of cause and effect. If you wake up every day dreading, I met an individual recently. They claimed they were so spiritual. Claimed they're so spiritual. They had all the spiritual books, had the spiritual lingo, and all of this, but they had to take ecstasy to go to a job. I'm talking about, from what I seen, was, eating like natural, not as natural as it can get, Whole Foods. Well, we know it's a lot of processed food in there, but eating from Whole Foods, but you're destroying a body with a pharmaceutical every day just to work. I mean, the individual admitted they needed ecstasy to stay in I don't know what state of mind they said that they achieve when they work with it, but individual said they work in a freezer, and I guess a warehouse and a freezer, and they use ecstasy most. It is a morning for them. I call it a AM or a rising, but it's a morning for them because if you have to get up and take a drug to do something, that means your soul is not producing the proper chemicals because it's not aligned with higher self. And that's why the great God said, you'll know them by their fruits. You ain't telling me who's spiritual. Spiritual, you're aligned with your higher self, your spirit, man. You ain't no motherfucking spiritual. If you got to take, because look, we already see it with the pharmaceuticals. They ain't no different than a pharmaceutical. We already see all the negative effects. We ain't talking about it. It's a separating your soul from your physical body because you're going up and down in dimensions. When you're on ecstasy, you're going higher, right? Artificially. We're not talking about the entities that it brings in, the portals that it opens. So it's like, motherfucker, you ain't spiritual. I don't give a fuck. What? How many motherfucking new age books you got on your shelf that you reading? What type of natural shit you doing? You're undoing all of that. You're undoing all of that. You're not spiritual. That's what I call a fucking dummy. I can see you doing that shit for experimentation, but being dependent on it. I'm saying this individual being dependent on it to do something that you have to do every day, 5 days, at least 5 days out of the week. You're not spiritual. You're a Decepticon, and I don't give a fuck what you say. You know that you read from somebody else's experience and their conscience. I don't give a fuck. I don't trust you. You're a devil. This is stuff you gonna run into. These demons having the same lingo, words, thought. They have not the same thoughts, but they have the same words as you, doing the same shit as you. It ain't no fruits of the spirit being produced from the law of cause and effect that they're producing out of their existence. It's gonna be the opposite. The ones that you think ain't shit. That's why the great God said the meek shall inherit the earth. They don't look like shit. They don't talk like shit. They don't know no shit. They don't have no shit. Oh, guess what they do got? They got their freedom. They got their freedom. They got their time. The most valuable thing, the only thing you have here on earth is time to travel. In a physical vessel, spirit, vessel, body, home. They got that. That sound like wealth. Because you can make choices during how you maneuver, how you travel. You can still make choices. All right, as long as I have enough to, you know, for this and this and this, until I can make this time work for me, for my higher self. I have the opportunity because I have the time. But motherfuckers that's, again, needing ecstasy to do something that they don't really want to do because they have to take ecstasy, they don't even have the time to make these choices or to pour into their higher self. That's a vessel of Satan. When you're lying to yourself, that's it. You ain't lying to me. Doing something that I love to do, I don't need a drug. I don't need a drug to do that. If I genuinely love to do it, I don't need a drug to do that. To be able to have to get through the experience. But that shows you're a Decepticon. Listen, and these are the motherfuckers, they're going to sound like you, talk like you, do things that you do. Again, like the last devil, and a very extended simulation. Meet this motherfucker, pork eating motherfucker. If we talking about defiling the temple, like, I can't imagine the worms. I'll call this motherfucker big worm. This motherfucker's a worm. Controlled by worms, at least to the minimum. Eating pork for year after year after year after year. Oh, you don't detox either? I'm saying, when I met this individual, you don't detox either? Oh, I see what simulation we in. You don't pray to you don't draw closer to the great God. You only work for lower self. All right, this is a devil. And now at the end of the simulation, you're wearing a shirt. Because, motherfuckers, they ride your conscience. They ride your wave. Devils ride your wave. Remember, they're your consciousness. They're just the polarity. They reflect the fullness of your consciousness. So, to a degree, they're there for your consciousness' sake. For the development of your full consciousness to take bloom. So if you're high level, then they're high level just on your polarity. They're high level as well. Which was the case. High level devils is what they are. Closer to Satan. If I'm closer to great God, then this motherfucker must have been Satan. Made manifest. A pure version of Satan made manifest in the flesh. Right? It was like, you go from a motherfucking pork eating, worm infested, non-detoxing, don't even know the science is. By the time you leave this simulation with me, you got a shirt on that says legendary. Because everything you do is to try to backdoor me. So I I contain the energy within. I'm the plug. I'm connected to the great God, universal Allah. The great God, universal Allah is streaming the pure positive life force energy through my vessel onto this earth. I'm the plug. So you see how these devils work? Go from a pork eating, sloppy, stinking ass motherfucker. Now at the end of the simulation, what? Almost 2 years later, right? With breaks, big breaks in between, maybe a 6-month break, whatever. Now you all of a sudden get the mind to buy, clothing word spells. Because I've been doing shit like that. I put my consciousness out there on a record. Satan has fully trained millions. Say the army of Shaitan, how I operate. That everything is a word spell out here. So now it's this motherfucker want to get tricky, want to get clever. Mind you, stain on the shirt, pork eating, big worm, motherfucker. End of the simulation, clean they stuff up. They ain't had no choice to. The law, universal law of one. We affect everybody around us. Whoever we're around, even more closer gets affected. Now this motherfucker decides getting a brain to wear a shirt saying legendary and trying to plant themselves, do motherfucking photo ops. Oh yeah, because look, the eyes, remember, they're from different dimensions. They could be from underworlds. They could be from the abyss. So many different worlds with the demonic kingdom, right? So they may not have the physical photogs with cameras standing around you filming you, but the eyes are cameras, eyes are recorders, that's how souls see through into this world. That's how souls see this world. They see it through eyes. So now this motherfucker trying to backdoor me on some shit. After all the, sharing the same space, sharing the same the energy, right? Then they want to do, then they want to now use your energy for their black magic. So that's as above, so below. I contain the energy. I'm the plug. I'm channeling the pure positive life force energy of great God onto this earth, right? I'm the chosen vessel to do that. And this motherfucker come with the word spells. Specifically brought because they're monitoring spirits. They're monitoring spirits. They view you. They hear you. They read your energy. Do all types of ways to do the black magic. They combine your energy, your pure positive life force energy, with their word spells or their associations, so they can get clout off of your energy in the demonic kingdoms. Because you got a bunch of eyes. You go out with this individual, bunch of eyes is recording y'all, right? And they just trying to, like I said, they just want some clout off of your pure positive life force energy. Oh, bitch, no. You are who I met you as. You're a motherfucking pork eating, worm infested, non-detoxing, a lust of the flesh, lust of the eye, pride of life, a stinking ass creature. That's how the fuck you are. That's it. Try again another life. You did not win a crown of life. You were not even pursuing the crown of life when I met you. This is what I would say to this individual. I don't desire any physical communication, because you cannot. All the demon knows, all demonic entity demon knows is to lie. What's the point? What's the fucking point? They're only going to twist the shit and gaslight you, and try to give you their version. And their version ain't worth shit, because their version comes from their father, Satan, who is the father of lies. So, fuck them. It's like, yo, that shit's crazy. Like, bitch, I met you as a pork-eating, worm-infested, lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, pride of life, working Not even surviving, just working. Not even to survive, not even to build anything. Stinking. And at the end of the simulation, you got the consciousness to wear a shirt around me that says legendary. When you know I'm the motherfucking legend. Motherfucking urban legend. This is what will happen when these devils, these demons, their only goal and intent is to backdoor you, steal your crown of life, steal your pure positive life force energy, and harvest it for themselves. If they can't do it this time, they can still kill, destroy from you. They can get it in another existence. It's contracts for other existences. Like Prophet Noble Drew said, if you don't get it right here, learn these lessons here, I will teach you in the other planes of life. Because we go on and on and on. Nipsey Hussle marathon. Infinity. Look, this is the name of the game. Age of Aquarius. Infinity Wars. War for souls. War for your crown of life. War for your pure positive life force energy. Through contracts, agreements, etc., etc. Fuck you. Fuck you and fuck you, nigga. Listen, this is a part of a divine court hearing and transfer. This individual, Infinity, and I'm not just mind fucking, but mind swiping, mind wiping. Anything that I imparted to this devil it's being snatched. It's being transferred back. Because sometimes you gotta loan your shit out just to really get where you gotta get. I'll just loan my shit out temporarily. And now when I come for it, nigga, you gonna be dead. When I come back for my shit, you gonna be fucking dead. And I'm talking about dark night of the soul. I'm talking about ego death dead. I don't never. That's what the Great God said. This war is not carnal. It's not physical. You don't want your enemy to just escape that easy and get to going. Because everybody got to leave physically. Got to leave this physical body and go on to their next judgment anyway, or next crown of life. You know they getting judgment. That's your enemy. You know they going to judgment anyway. You want them to sit. You want them to sit here on earth, right? You want them to sit here on earth in a physical body for the divine amount of time to burn off their sins against you. You want them here. You want them here. You don't. That's what the satanic world did. The Age of Pisces world, they would kill their op physically. They would use a weapon or something like that, or black magic to kill their op from their body, kill the soul, depart, however you say it, depart the soul from the body. That's not, I'm saying the very elect to the chosen. That's not our goal and our intent. It's too easy because they're going to judgment for trying, for touching an anointed one, for, trying to still kill and destroy. They're going to judgment. Listen, that's a given. That's according to the law. We want to give them the ample amount of time on earth to burn off their sins against you inside of their physical body, vessel, home, right inside of there. Every day, this motherfucker in the dark night of the soul. And this motherfucker, he's trapped in that timeline. He's trapped in a timeline where he lost the game. He's trapped in that timeline. He relives this day in and day out. Motherfucker end up coming back begging on their knees. Oh, I'll be a slave now. That's the only way, motherfucker. Because look, great God, we can't hold revenge and resentment against them. Because once the great God is going to put them in Gehenna, weeping and gnashing of the teeth on earth, right? That's enough for enough time for them to humble themselves and take their rightful place as your servant. I'm saying if you are a vessel of the great God universal Allah, that means we were granted dominion and authority over this a new earth, age of Aquarius. We are partakers in this a new world. We're a whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. No one tell us no or where to go. Is this a fucking dream? Like, it's on that type shit. Oh shit, all my ops are like physically. All my ops are physically departed from their body, and I can. They left all this shit behind, and I just ain't no one to tell us no, or you can't go here, you can't go there. That's private property. That's off limits. Oh shit, I'm finna go crazy in this bitch. Like on some shit like that. I want to set up my kingdom here, and you know what I mean? I want to, everybody's at peace with each other. Everybody here, we all at peace. It's so little of us, and this is our earth. Wow. Like on some shit like that. That means you got rulership and dominion on earth for this new age. You're either an elect, which you got to run your race. That means you have to run every devil up out of you. It's gonna materialize in the flesh. You got to run every devil up out of you. Yep. What are you fucking Decepticons fucking doing, man? Motherfuckers are bored. You gonna run every devil up out of you. Yep. Every devil that manifests in your physical reality, you gonna run up out of your energy field. You gonna cast the motherfuckers out, and you got the opportunity. Now again, it's gonna be tricky because again, I've had 20 years to do it, Joseph. I suppose since we're at a time where heaven is on earth now, officially in a spiritual, when the sins of the world reached the great God universal Allah in heaven, the great God universal Allah declared divine order on earth. We officially shifted into a new world, right? We're just seeing the great falling away from the old satanic age, and we're seeing the divine order manifest. Things falling away and things manifesting that are in alignment with divine order, right? So it's already here. That time is already here. Heaven is already on earth. So I suppose that there will be a remnant. I suppose. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I suppose there will be a remnant that's able to do it in a short amount of time, maybe to experience a portion of heaven on earth. What's that going to look like? I don't know. Maybe it could be like a 40 motherfuckers use a 40-day fast or something. I don't know. I'm just theorizing this. I don't know. I don't know. I had ample time, but because I believe that Yahweh Shai did say something like that. Like, these things that I do, they not nothing. You're going to be able to do that in a fraction of a time. So I submit, look, maybe, I don't know, maybe like a 40-day fast or a few 40-day fasts, or I don't know. I don't know. Maybe a 20-day fast, a few 25-day fasts. Shit. Forsaking the world, leaving the world, and having maybe like some insane, intense, parallel past life regressions done directly from the great God universal Allah, not another human, but the great God universal Allah run these records through for the whole time that one would be fasting. These negative records, they get ran through the subconscious. They come up and it's instantly transmuted because the individual is doing extended fasts. That's the only way that I see it possible, and I don't know how much fasting an individual has to do for that. I don't know that yet. I haven't been tested with that, so. But I guess we'll see. But yeah, man, this motherfucking devil got it. Again, this was a back door. This was a backdoor attempt. They do it in the sneakiest ways. Pork eating motherfucker, when I meet you, stains on your shirt all the time. Now you want to clean up? You want to buy a shirt that says legendary. You ain't done shit, legend. I don't give a fuck, nigga. You ain't done shit, legendary. Except for serve your master Satan. That's it. Now, because you with the energy source, you want to pair that with your word spells. So if people see us together, they're so associating my energy with the word spell on your shirt and it on your body and your face. You motherfucking devils. Like, I don't see all this shit. And all that knocking this motherfucker did, shutting doors, physical doors. Shutting physical doors everywhere in the space that we share. Unnecessarily. You mean you got a window and you need to keep opening and closing doors? Or trying to close the door on a fulfillment of my heart's desire and everything else that you deem that you want from me? I just let the motherfucker keep doing it. You can roll down the window, but you rather keep opening up doors every time we having a conversation. Just, I'm asleep. You just want to keep opening and closing doors. Not having to. These are the tricks these devils play. Because anything that happens in the physical, it can be paired. They are devils. They work in other dimensions, in the lower dimensions or higher dimensions too. So anything that they do in the physical, it has a spiritual implication. And this individual, when they started to assimilate my frequency as just a master, now this individual just keep opening and closing doors. This individual wants to be seen around me physically to trick these empty vessels into recording things that are not so. Bitch, you are a pork eating, big worm, stinking ass, jealous, envious vessel of Satan. That's it. You are the polarity reflecting a chosen one's divinity. That's it. You wasn't chosen. You was not chosen for the age of Aquarius, because the only thing that you would want to do, which you don't want to do, you only want to do the will of Satan. The only thing that you would want to do is the will of the great God, universal Allah, which is uplift a fallen humanity. Now we got to do it, the consciousness of fallen humanity through the universal law of one. That's it. Or whatever assignment, whatever divine will, divine mission, assignment has been assigned to your vessel to uplift the frequency of this earth. Shifting this earth into divine order through your frequency, individual frequency. But you ain't doing that. You ain't doing that. And you talking about legendary? Legendary for what? For being a life fuck up? Because you thought that this was just about the lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and the pride of life? Because you thought that this was about physical work? I always saw past that shit. That's why I could never keep a job more than 6 months. Shit. That shit started getting on my nerves. I'm out of that bitch. So, everything with these devils is a trick and a trap. those are my findings from an extended simulation, an experiment, gaining wisdom and experience, really, for its testimony, for humanity, for the very elect that are desiring to be in the race to win the crown of life, to experience higher self on earth, create heaven on earth. Bismillah, infinity.